Right guys, we want to improve our squatting and our ability to use our legs to display power, to display performance, have endurance in our legs. One of the most effective things that we can do, because most of you have such incredibly tight and stiff and weak knees from either overusing them or you sit down way too much, is that the knees, they don't want to really flex in all the way. They can't open up that fully. And maybe they're a little bit painful when you're doing things like squatting or lunging especially, or if you try to go through a pistol squat, it feels absolutely horrendous. Or maybe when you're running, you have really tight knees. We are going to floss out the knees. So I want to show this pretty quick and easy to do. I want to start off just below the knee itself. And I want to have an anchor strip to start off with. So I just pull a little bit of strip, enough to cover the leg, and I'm putting this on. It's tight against the skin, but I'm not trying to dig it in. It's just tight enough where it'll actually stay there. Now I can pull the floss out. So I'm going to pull it tight as I go around the back and then keep it nice and easy as I start traveling up the knee. And I'm going to get to where it's just underneath the kneecap. Remember, we're doing about a half width overlap. So every time I pull this up, I'm covering about the distal half over the previous strip's proximal half. Does that make sense? Like the one that's closer or further away from you over the closer strip. Does that make sense? Anyways, I'm going to avoid the kneecap though. You know how knee braces always have that hole for the kneecap? That's important. Then I'm going to cross over the whole back of the knee. My kneecap's still there, it's uncovered, because the kneecap is its own independent bone that floats over the femur. If I put a lot of pressure going in that way, I'm going to quite literally, lose my balance, grind the kneecap into the femur, into my thigh bone. I don't want that. And I'm going to do the opposite as I go over my thigh. I'm going to pull that up tight over the quad and keep it a little bit looser on the hamstrings because I'm trying to affect the knee. You can floss your hamstrings, absolutely, but I'm going to put the pressure on my quads because I'm trying to more directly open up the knee. And the quads are what create the muscles that, or rather supply the tendon over your kneecap, and they're going to have a much bigger impact. So I pull that tight across the top, and I'm keeping it relatively loose across the bottom. You can, again, absolutely floss out your hamstrings. And then because your thigh is a little bit thicker, make sure you have plenty of slack. Put your thumb in where you can stretch that too. So I've got my thumb in that previous loop, got the end of the band there, and then I'm going to do that. So of course, before you did this, you would have tested out your squat and see what your range of motion looks like. But we can also go into the squat there. Don't worry, I'm wearing compression shorts. And then I go into that, and I would want to spend 2 minutes, I'm timing out 2 minutes, working on my squatting. I can try jogging, going through some high knees or butt kicks kind of movements, move that around and just get my knee moving through as well as I can. And I would go through that for 2 minutes and then take it off. And this is going to be quite subjective. It's, how does it feel to you? But do that 2 minutes, take that off, see how pale it is and then suddenly red as the blood flow rushes back in, and then go into your squat and be like, okay, that feels so loose and nice now. Okay? So nice and easy drill, 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, or just alternate knees as you go through it. I usually recommend doing about 3 to 5 rounds per specific area. So 3 times on each knee would be appropriate, especially if you're about to do like a max out back squat or whatever else with your legs. Going for a run, doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you're gonna have an emphasis on triangle chokes or whatever it is you're doing. If you suffer with chronic pain, chronic injuries, athletic injuries, I have got you covered. My name is Ethan Hammond, and I am a strength and rehab specialist. I work with people who want to return to sport and fitness, but feel that they can't because of pain and injuries. I've helped people with conditions such as lower back pain, ACL tears, shin splints, neck pain and chronic headaches, and so many more things. Now, a lot of you will be going through things like this, like what I just listed above, and you're saying that you cannot train anymore. Bullshit. You have got to train, and you've got to train right. Train or complain, that is the way this works. Now, I work in person in Southampton, England, but I have online services as well if you're a bit further out. And I also offer free consultations to get you started with a free game plan and strategy for getting out of pain. All you have to do is to send me a text or a WhatsApp message to 07 305 231 339, and I will personally get back to you in the next 24 hours to get you started on the road to proper recovery. If you are serious about leveling up and making real change, this is how you start.